This is Gaming Through the Ages, and today we're looking at Devil Children White Book for the Game Boy Color. The Devil Children series is a spin-off of the Shin Megami Tensei series and can be thought of as Shin Megami Tensei's answer to Pokemon. White Book is the third in the series, both in terms of release and in terms of narrative, taking place several years after the events in Red Book and Black Book, also released for Game Boy Color. Unfortunately, these games weren't localized, and I'll discuss the language barrier towards the end of the review. The first thing that jumps out when playing White Book is the graphics and music. The graphics are noticeably much more colorful than the average Game Boy Color game, and unfortunately, seeing the recorded game footage on a computer monitor likely won't do justice to how much the game really goes above and beyond in that regard. The music is also worth noting, since several different music tracks are in the game and each is used to set a different mood depending on what area it's associated with. For instance, more upbeat adventure-style music is used in bright towns, while slower, more melodic music may be used in a darker setting. The player can buy each or find these individual music tracks at certain points in the game, and then gains the ability to switch to whichever track they fancy on the fly. The story in White Book starts out fairly simply. You, a boy named Masaki, and your best friend, a boy named Takaharu, are born on the same day at the same hospital, and Masaki is given the power of devils by an imp, while Takaharu is given the power of angels by a cupid. The game begins several years later, when devils from Makai begin seeping into the human world, and Takaharu's sister Sho gets poisoned by a devil. A chimera named Clay becomes Masaki's guide, and a phoenix named Rei becomes Takaharu's. Each of the characters starts their journey to Makai, with the player taking on the role of Masaki as the main protagonist. From here, the player travels to many different areas of Makai through teleportation gates, each with their own theme, towns, and dungeons. Eventually, the cure is obtained, and this is when the story becomes much more sinister. Without going into spoilers, the story takes a dive into the typical Shin Megami Tensei tropes, and becomes much more dramatic despite the overall lightheartedness of the game's atmosphere. Although the game has an overhead view, the encounter gameplay in White Book is traditional Shin Megami Tensei fare. The player can have a team of several devils, and uses two at a time during a fight, one automatically being Clay. If Clay, however, faints, he is automatically replaced by the next devil on your team so that you continue to use two at once. During encounters, options include a standard physical attack, using magic, of which there is a great variety, using special techniques some devils have, using items, switching devils, or negotiating. Negotiating is the main way you obtain new devils for your party. You get options such as flatter, threaten, coerce, etc., and devils can react in a number of ways. They may attack you, join you, require a payment of some sort to join you, or heal you, among other reactions. If you just defeat the devils, you are rewarded with experience and money. This experience levels up Masaki, but not the devils you use. Masaki's level is only used to allow him to use devils which have higher levels. To level up devils, the player has to fuse them together. This can create new devils or power up ones that you already use. This must be done frequently during the course of the game, but if done properly can make the game fairly easy. Fusing enough devils with Clay will power him up to whatever level Masaki's current level will allow. Clay also has the unique ability to evolve during story events, an ability only shared by Takaharu's Phoenix Rei. There are 331 devils to collect within the game, and you do not need to trade with a friend to collect them all, although this feature is in the game, along with the ability to fight a friend. As the player traverses the many areas of the game, several ways to collect different devils are revealed. Some are obtained through usually short side quests, and others are obtained through town minigames such as Vine Center quizzes and casino games. There's also a BattleNet program in towns, which lets you take teams of devils through various virtual encounters for rewards. The language barrier in White Book isn't extraordinarily high, being a game marketed towards a younger audience. The game features no kanji, so if you know your kana and have a decent-sized vocabulary, it shouldn't be too difficult to follow. The game, while giving you some freedom to explore, is fairly linear, so often the player just needs to talk to the right NPC and proceed to the next area they haven't been to. There is one point which could be problematic, however. During one section of the game, inside of a temple, the player is instructed to go behind pillars and move up to find a secret passage. It isn't obvious visually that you can go behind the pillars, so this could be a frustrating, seemingly dead end. Overall, I recommend Devil Children White Book as I was very pleasantly surprised by the game. I went in fearing it would be nothing but a Pokemon clone, but it is a Shin Megami Tensei game at its core, which does borrow several elements from the Pokemon series, but isn't worse off for it. If you want to play a light Shin Megami Tensei game, which is fairly easy and is really pick up and play friendly since you can save anywhere, you won't be disappointed with the Devil Children games.